welcome to They Think It's All Over. David's away this week with the sons and daughters of Zimbabwe, so we welcome back Steve Davis. With Steve and Jonathan is a grandstand presenter so professional he's known as one-take rider. So let's see how he fares against 20-take Hancock. Steve Ryder. With Gary and Rory as a former snooker world champion who has just opened a sexy underwear shop. Some of his old Chingford mates have already been in to buy stockings, but sadly, he didn't have their head size in stock. Ronnie O'Sullivan. We kick off with the excuses round. Steve, Jonathan and Steve. It's that pill-popping leg spinner Shane Warne for you. Here he is helping Australia win the last World Cup.
What a ball.
Now, Warne has made an unscheduled early exit from this World Cup after a drugs test, but what excuse did he give for testing positive? Steve's team.
Drugs in sport is a terrible thing, you know, it really is. I mean, right now, you might have noticed Steve is speeding out of his mind.
Actually, I use Valium as a stimulant.
He's taking back the school guys. Over there, you've got the cool kids. Look, we've got the good-looking one who pulls the birds. We've got the sporty one. We've got the ugly one, but he knows where to get the drugs and the porn. And over here...
And his parents...
Look at us, you might as well just put chess club up there.
There's nothing wrong with chess. I'm actually the patron of the British Chess Federation. It's a bloody good game. And,
there's a surprise.
But the question is, his mother gave it to him. Is that why? Why did she give it to him? His mother was ridiculous, as if a mother would give you drugs. Gary, your mother would never give you drugs. Roy, your mother would never give you drugs. Ronnie, you... Anyway, Steve, has your mum ever given you anything before a tournament?
Well, going up to Sheffield, she could do me a packed lunch.
We're talking about Sean Ryder, the most common man in sport, but a lovely fella.
Talking about...
Sean Ryder. Well, it's got an S and an R in it, it's close.
I think on this occasion his mother did slip something into his lunchbox because he had a bit of a water retention problem or something like that. He blamed his mother.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, correct for 3 points.
Well done, Captain. Mr. Ryder, nice work. Oh, you're the voice of BBC Sport.
It was all his mum's fault. He claims he took a diuretic pill given to him by his mum Brigitte to reduce the amount of fluid in his body and had no idea it might contain banned substances. Diuretics make you urinate in order to promote fluid loss, although you'd have thought that Shane would have pissed himself enough watching England over the past 4 months. All right, England may have lost the recent Ashes series, but just you wait, Australia, till we take you on at tennis. Sorry, football. Sorry, snooker. Darts? Gary, Rory and Ronnie, it's the man who won Brazil the World Cup for you.
Cleverson. Ronaldo's dummy. Ronaldo! It's 2-0! And Ronaldo is rampant now!
However, when it came to filming the recent Nike advert in the hull of a cargo ship, Ronaldo was replaced by a PE teacher from Birmingham. So, Gary's team, how did this come about?
While we're on the subject of ads, my favourite ad, always for years, has been Mr. Muscle. Loves the jobs you hate. What, shagging my missus? But what about farting? That's terrible, that farting ad that you're in. Because you actually don't fart, do you?
I never fart.
Oh, I don't know. Watch a review of the year, every year. 30 seconds before we go on the air.
What sort are they, Steve? Silent and deadly or what?
They smell of perfume.
Are you sure he's farting? Sure he just didn't open a bag of crisps? Because some of that stuff he sells is rank.
Definitely wasn't Sue Barker, that's for sure. It might have been.
Stop it now, because I'm getting aroused.
So, Ronaldo.
PE teacher. Yeah. What about you, Ronnie? You a PE man?
Yeah.
But you did skive off the cross-country, didn't you?
I tried to get out of it one year, but I got caught. I found a taxi up.
Gary's mind's ticking over now. He's thinking, all those runs I made, I could have had a taxi. Just take me to the edge of the penalty area, please. Actually, can you just pull up to the 6-yard box?
Oh, that would have been perfect, wouldn't it? They've scored a goal, gives the lift back to the halfway line.
Opens the door, taps it in, back in. Back we go! Ronaldo!
Ronaldo! As I recall in this ad, the Ronaldo, you don't actually see him, do you? You don't see him full on. He's doing a lot of keepy up, isn't he? And I was wondering whether there was some reason why that he might have been injured or something. And they got this PE teacher who was very good at doing keepy uppy.
That's correct. 3 points to Gary's team. Well done. 3 points. The answer is the buck-toothed Brazilian was injured, so the ad company had to use Brummie Rob Walters as his body double, and Rob just happens to be the world keepy-uppy champion. Ronaldo picked up his injury on a safari holiday in South Africa. He was shot by poachers after ivory.
Rob? Rob Walters?
Yes,
Just
Rob
in case, you never know.
He's written the only thing he can write, which is Best Wishes, Gary Lineker.
I wrote that on Michelle's birthday.
I know you did.
Oh, dear.
And tried to charge her a £5. According to Walters, Eric Cantona was the only pro on set who came close to him for technical skill. Cantona could keep 2 balls in the air at once, as long as they were both attached to a Crystal Palace fan. And at the end of that round, Gary's team have 3 points and Steve's team have 3 points. We move on to Sporting Bluff now. Steve's team, it's our buxom Ryder Cup hero Colin Montgomery and his winning putt in the singles, which set Europe on their way to victory.
Montgomery to win the match. Up the hill. Brilliant, Colin.
However, aside from winning a major, Monty has another much more realistic ambition. Gary's team?
Colin Montgomery's ambition is to climb Mount Everest.
Colin Montgomery's ambition is to save the mountain gorillas of Uganda.
Colin Montgomery's ambition is to star in a film.
Before we get to that, Nick... Ronnie, actually, this is true, isn't it? You've opened an upmarket lingerie store, have you not? A knicker shop.
I have, yeah.
What's the name of it?
Viva la Diva.
Viva the Beaver. How common is that?
Hold on, the drugs are wearing off now.
I hear it's top quality gear, very good knickers.
Not bad.
I've got a pair here.
You ain't.
Oh, we sent out for a pair.
no
Have a look at
way.
these.
Out of the bag. Actually, they're quite inspiring, aren't they? There's a 3-ball plant there, look.
Mr. Ryder, let me just ask you, because we've had Colin Montgomery on the show, and he was a lovely guest.
He's a lovely chap, charming
great sport. And I'm curious, we often make jokes about his baps, and I'm wondering, I do hope he does not take offence. Does he take it in the spirit with which it's intended, i.e., supportive?
It was my job as the BBC golf presenter to try to steer clear of all this sort of stuff when we were talking to Monty. And I interviewed him off the 18th green at Wentworth during the PGA Championship a few years ago. And it was just after he and his wife have had their second child. Didn't have a great round, and I thought, well, this is an opportunity to try to portray Monty as the sort of rounded individual. That's the wrong expression. So I said, Colin, not your greatest day today, but, you know, things must be tough at home with the new baby. How's the sleeping pattern been disrupted? And he said, oh, we've got all that sorted out. He said, my wife breastfeeds up until 9 o'clock and then I take over. And you think you try and help the fella?
Yeah. I love a bit of breast milk, don't you, Ronnie?
Love it.
Ronnie, do you sell... Because your shop, I've been told this in Old Street, your shop, it sells to women, for women, and it also sells lingerie for gay men, is that correct?
No, men.
Men?
You don't have to be gay to wear underwear, do you? Steve's bought a thong out of my shop.
Steve Davis has got a thong.
Yeah, it cuts into you a bit when you're playing, but...
I didn't know fellas sport fancy gear for dressing up during sex. I was once asked by my wife, seriously, unfortunately, to dress up as Scully out of the X-Files, you know, the girl. And we had sex while I was wearing high-heeled shoes, a ladies' mac and a wig. And not only did we enjoy the sex, I also sorted out a poltergeist problem we had in the spare room. Do you ever put anything special on for sex?
We usually have Sky News on.
I'll never be able to watch Sky News again.
So what was it? It was Monty. What were the 3 possibilities?
Right, the first one, OK, was...
Climbing Everest.
Climbing Everest. Which...
Climbing Everest. Can you imagine Monty on a mountain? He'd shout, avalanche! and his caddy would shout, "Have a lunch?" But you've already had it at breakfast, and you're hungry for the lunch. Because you see, it's Italian. It's Italian.
Where exactly?
Have a lunch.
Where
It's
exactly
Italian.
do you imagine
Was that his
Everest
Italian
to
caddy?
be?
It's near Italy. Have a lunch. You bring me all the way from Italy to get me give you the lunch so early. What is the matter? What's the matter, you? Hey, got no respect? Hey, you want to have a lunch? It's not even 10 in the morning. Miss, no wonder you got the bigger the booby.
We've got the idea!
I tell you, if we don't get a BAFTA. What was the other one? It was
Saving gorillas, I think.
Saving gorillas.
And being in a film.
Harry Potter.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And that's nice. It's quite insulting. War Wars.
Star Trek.
That's not good. He thinks we are just finding a film part for him.
I think it's climbing Mount Everest, actually.
OK, so you think Ronnie was telling the truth. Let's see if you're right. Yes, indeed, Ronnie had it right. Monty says he wants to leave golf behind and climb Mount Everest for charity. The Ryder Cup, incidentally, is sponsored by the makers of Viagra. Monty's particularly delighted. It means he can carry more donuts back from the buffet. Gary's team, it's a lovely young Steve Davis for you, back in 1979, being interviewed by Janet Street Porter. And Janet's obviously raised Steve's interest, if the hand on his cue is anything to go by.
So how do you go about finding better players to play against? Do you travel around looking for...
I play at the Working Men's Club, Pumsley Common Working Men's Club, and I travel over to Romford, where there are better facilities and better players to play against. This is the Lucania Club.
I've been dying for you to come on the podcast. One thing I want to know is how do all these people, professionals, do all these amazing...
Was that the first time you'd ever spoken to a real woman?
I'm sorry.
Now, Steve recently won something, nothing to do with snooker, obviously. What event was it?
Steve Davis won £10,000 on the National Lottery.
I won a professional poker competition.
Steve Davis won a celebrity edition of Mastermind.
You must have played Steve in the past, have you, Ronnie?
A few times, yeah.
He's a good loser, isn't he? Have you ever seen him throw a tantrum?
He's the worst loser.
Oh, really?
I remember once there was these people standing there waiting for his autograph, and he was just in the middle of the match, or it was just after the game, and as they've gone to ask him, he went, "No autographs now," and just stormed through them, and they just went like that. Oh! And I think I was about 13 at the time, and that was just as he was on his little decline, like.
What's the first one? What's the...
Got to do this again now.
Yeah, let me hold it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I need the rest. That's it. Steve Davis won £10,000 on the National Lottery.
Can't be right. I mean, 6 balls in a row.
What do you say, Duncan?
I said he won a celebrity edition of Mastermind.
You ever done that, Gary?
Mastermind. A footballer on Mastermind, yeah.
Yeah. Gary, you passed on no occasion, right?
Unlike you, Rory, you passed on herpes.
Whoa! Hey! See you in a minute.
Jonathan, you've done Mastermind, haven't you?
No, but for the purpose of this show, yes.
What's your specialised subject?
Male pornographic magazines, 1972 to 1975, with particular interest on several issues of Knave.
One of my first ever interviews was actually for Penthouse magazine. It's like, because they do features in between, don't they? And I was on the back.
What's that? Is that? You know what that's for? So you last longer. You're getting too near it. You go, hold on. Steve Davis, all right, that's bought me 15 minutes. That's a delaying tactic, that is.
I saw this on you played in a poker thing, didn't you? You did very well.
So you think that Steve was telling the truth? Let's see if you're right. Steve did know the answer. He won a televised competition to enter the Poker Million Masters final, which has a prize of exactly 90,000 quid.
Steve Davis feeling pretty good. The heart rate going down Ace-queen for Steve Davis is a fantastic hand, but Roy the boy may have just stuck his head in a guillotine with a falling blade, and Steve Davis can cut the rope. Ace Davis hit the ace, and Steve Davis is going to the final table.
May I be the first to congratulate Steve on his excellent poker face? There's no way you'd have known you've got some good guys. He was going...
Afterwards, Steve said, I feel like Paul Newman in The Cincinnati Kid, which is great except for one tiny problem. Paul Newman wasn't in The Cincinnati Kid. And at the end of that round, Gary's team have 6 points and Steve's team have 6 points. Time for what's going on now. Steve's team, take a look at this. What's going on here, mate?
Just doing some footage.
So, what was that all about, Steve's team?
Can I ask you something, Mr. Ryder? Does your hair ever move? It must be great on grandstand when you cover the Premiership. That must be exciting when you're doing that, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't do that.
You don't do that anymore?
I don't do that.
What about the cricket? When you do the cricket, must be
Cricket was
quite
great. Those were the great years of grandstand.
You don't have that anymore?
No, we don't have
But
that
you did. I know you did the rally last year, didn't you? That must be exciting.
Yeah,
I forward to that.
I love the World Rally Championship.
We must be looking forward to that.
No, we lost that to Channel 4.
Well, never mind. We all love live conkers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, we've only got highlights.
It looks to me like some sort of gathering of urban pursuits. It looks like it's skateboarding, graffiti. There was some twat trying to break dance. You know, it's bad enough. He's already cursed with ginger hair. He makes himself a bigger prick by break dancing, apparently. So it's some sort of street sports, like urban sports. An urban Olympics.
Qualified.
Games.
Games, thank you. The Urban Games. Well done. Very good. Billed as the ultimate street party, those were the Urban Games held annually at Clapham Common when kids from Da Street hang out and keep it real by rollerblading, breakdancing and writing graffiti, or as they call it, aerosol art. The scheme has received the backing of many MPs who said they wouldn't be who they are today if they hadn't got their aerosols out on Clapham Common. Take your time. Gary's team, here's yours. So what's going on there, Gary's team?
I tell you what, Steve, you'll do anything to get through to the second round.
Can I ask Steve Ryder a question? Do you speak proper English when you commentate and sort of talk on?
Occasionally, I...
Do you ever say next up, which the Prats on Sky will say, next up? Where did that come from? Next up, we've got so-and-so...
Well, the problem is we don't have anything next up. No, it's not a Sky.
Oh, someone wants a job at Sky, don't they? Someone's being a bit careful.
I think it was a streaking during a snooker match wearing a Sven mask.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
And what is the link between these two things?
Had England, under the stewardship of Sven Göran Eriksson, won a match?
No.
Didn't the Daily Star have a campaign to support Sven and they had the mask printed inside it?
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus point.
Yes.
That's fair enough. The mask had been printed by the Daily Sport for fans to show their support during the Ulrika affair. Despite the tabloid interest in Sven and Ulrika, the England manager always steadfastly refused to discuss his private life. Until the Australia game last Wednesday, that is, when he opened his press conference with, right then, any questions about Ulrika? At the end of that round, Gary's team have 6 points and Steve's team have 10. Come on. Time now for our regulars to cuddle up to a sportsman. Gary, Rory, could you move to your places, please? When you get there, put your blindfolds on. You'll have 90 seconds to figure out who's at your fingertips. Can we have our first mystery guest, please? OK, and you can start feeling now.
Oh. Cross it, Ronaldo. You did well to get him. Sounds quite skillful. Is he Australian? Where's the ball gone?
That's a question he's heard said a few times.
I'm going to try it now. Leinfeld will keep you happy.
Where did it go?
Who's got the ball?
That's my record.
Is it, what's he called, the Ronaldo...
Keep you up here, Ronaldo.
Rob Walters.
Rob Walters is the correct answer for 3 points. Hi, Rob. Very good. OK, Steve and Jonathan.
That was good. That was quite exciting. I tell you what, it's so comfy. It's so roomy. You know, some weeks we're sitting out there and we're busting out the toilet. I've been twice. You know. For Valentine's Day. Here we go. Available at La Diva Beaver.
OK, and can we have our second mystery guest, please? OK, and your time starts now.
What's that? Oh, wood.
This could make a nice cue. I've got a rope here.
Hold it.
Foot.
Michael Jackson, are you up there? Come down. I'm sorry. Yeah, you should be. What's this? I think, Steve, I think I'm wedged.
He's got a helmet. He's got 2. He's built like a brick shithouse.
Oh,
no.
It was, in fact, John Harthill, the British tree climbing champion.
Oh, look at that. We could have got it. What a wonderful.
So, at the end of that round, Gary's team have 9 points and Steve's team have 10. We complete matters by playing the name game. The leader go first, which is Steve's team. Could you pass those along?
Yeah.
And your time starts now.
She's the mother of the bloke we saw who took the pills.
Mrs. Warren.
Yeah,
Well done.
All right, OK. I got big breasts, but I play golf.
Colin Montgomery.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
I got big...
Hey, La, I'm playing for England, but I'm a bit nervous about it, La. Because I'm a young fella. Wayne is my name. All right, this is a TV sports presenter, but he's nothing, nowhere in your league.
Gary Lineker.
Obviously,
No.
Gary, he's much better than Gary, but he's nowhere in your league. He's like a cigarette, you put it out, and what you got left is a cigarette.
Stub.
You do
Ray
something
Stubbs.
Ray Stubbs. There you go. OK, this is, I think he's a rugby player. It also describes Rory's dating technique. It's sort of foreplay. Bah!
Sheep, lamb. Sheep, lamb.
Lamb, the something methany band.
Lamb.
Yeah, well done. All right, this first guy's a US golfer. Your name, your name. First name.
Davis
First
Love.
name. How can he
Oh,
not
sorry,
call Davis,
Steve,
is he? Steve. Second name is you've got lots of this all over you. I'm grabbing hold of this. What's that I've got there?
Fat.
No, but it's like fat. It's another word. You'd say...
It's a rib. Mickelson.
Flesh, thank you very much indeed. Oh. This is a cricketer, Zimbabwe. This is what we all gave each other on Valentine's Day. Gary got a lovely bunch from Mark. Students used to get these. They used to get A, but now they don't get it anymore. Doesn't matter to me, because my kids, they're wealthy. They don't need it. They're not going to have to work, let's face it.
Grant.
Grant Flowers, OK. This is the second name... Oh, man.
Right.
Flesh was hard one to get there, wouldn't it?
Moved on to 17, so 9. 9 will win it for you. OK.
We need 9, boys.
Your time starts now.
World Keep You Happy champion.
Rob Walters.
But you've written it down. Good boy. A young goat.
Brian Kidd.
Very good indeed. This is an a circus, and I think the missus of the circus used to spank our monkeys. No, used to spank our monkeys and got...
Chipperfield.
Chipperfield. First name is... if you come from Scotland, you are a...
Jock.
Jock. Miserable bit.
Yeah, I know. Scott. Right, this is a second name... Surname, same as Nick.
Hancock.
Without the cock, if you can imagine that. And the first player, a snooker player...
Quinton.
Quinton, very good indeed. This is the crappy Liverpool player. It's also the Arabic for where is the nearest post office.
El Hajj.
Very good indeed. This is apparently a shot put champ. Her second name is, I think, the sound of a hippopotamus farting underwater. That's it. That's close enough indeed.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
This is a Norwich snooker player. He sounds if he comes from Liverpool.
Barry Pinches.
Barry Pinches, very good indeed.
Sounds like
The second name is a long, thin thing.
Q.
A Q. So in America, they call them Qs. They call this
A line.
Q. A line. That's right. And her first name, the same name as our Queen.
Victoria.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
And this is a Thai snooker player. A Thai snooker player. Who...
So Steve's team got 17 and Gary's team have got 17. It means the scores are level. How do we settle this? Right. With both Steve and Ronnie... Yeah, fight would be good. With both Steve and Ronnie on the show, there can only be one way, obviously. Please bring on the snooker table.
Yay!
Mr. David, Mr. O'Sullivan, if you could make your way up there, please.
It's weird, because, you know, I've never been this close before, but normally things look bigger on television. That's tiny.
The first one to pop the black ball, Steve, stay there. Wins the game. And for a psychological advantage, Ronnie, if you could put these glasses on.
I think Steve needs them more than me, though.
Oh! I want to do that! OK, Ronnie.
Is it my go?
Actually, Steve, you can do this.
Yeah,
you do it.
Sullivan hunched over. He's left Steve absolutely nothing.
Go on, Steve.
The auditorium is hushed.
Go on, Steve.
Yeah.
Go on, Ronnie, it's your day.
Can't really see properly.
And this is 1985 all over again.
A triumph
Gary Lineker.
of Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So our thanks to Steve, Jonathan and Steve, Gary, Rory and Ronnie. We're all off to confiscate Rory's Sven mask. My name's Nick Hancock. They think it's all over. It is now.
Next on BBC One, Trevor Booking and Sally Gunnell on A Question of Sport. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon on BBC Two, Six Nations Rugby. France versus Scotland kicks off at 2.